Indiana Department of Education says that more than 18,000 young people in the state are homeless. And new at 6, Elkhart County's numbers are higher than any of the surrounding counties.
To solve it, there's an effort to build a youth homeless shelter in Elkhart County. WSBT-22's Patrick Roth has been following this story for us. Patrick, building a youth homeless shelter is a lot more complicated than it sounds.
Yeah, Jennifer, it costs a lot of money to operate any kind of homeless shelter, and there's a lot of certifications that you need to have to run a youth one. But people do seem to agree there is a need. In Elkhart County, there are more than 200 homeless kids. That's according to the latest numbers from the Indiana Department of Education, and that does not count kids younger than 6 or who are not required to attend school.
There's a huge problem in Elkhart. We are beginning to see signs in Elkhart as well as South Bend, Mishawaka, that remind us very much of Chicago.
Well, even though we have a young person who may say, you know, the last known address for them was in Elkhart County, even the numbers that we get, it would necessarily be hard to gauge the scope of the problem.
Since some kids might not identify themselves as homeless, even though they don't always have a place to stay, it's hard to know the exact extent of the problem. But the question is how to fix it.
There's very few resources other than for them to get clothing or food. So Elkhart County is very lacking. St. Joseph County has a safe house, and we need to bring one to Elkhart.
But the problem is, it's not as easy as simply building a place for young homeless people to stay.
We definitely have to have a respected agency, you know, in place that had, of course, the proper credentials, the background checks for staff, things like that, an established agency.
Now, the other major problem is cost. The youth shelter here in St. Joseph County gets more than $275,000 from federal grants, and that's just for the shelter alone. Their total budget is more than $1 million. So, Rick, this is not something that's going to happen overnight.
It's going to take some time. Patrick, thank you.